Hey, this is Coach T. I've got another project challenge video for us in the Affinity Publisher 2 Quick Dive series. So far at this point, you have learned a whole bunch about the basics of the program, and I'm hoping that you're beginning to get very comfortable with the features and tools that are available in Affinity Publisher. I'm recording this kind of at the end of making the main chunk of the video course, and if you're skipping ahead, you might see some things in here that you did not see get made. That's okay. What we're going to focus on today is just this part. I want you to create 3 master pages, and the master pages have different purposes, but effectively when you're done with this project, you should have a simple and replicable way to lay out maybe a short magazine or a flyer, something like that, and you'll be well on your way to being able to create your own multi-page documents that have a beautiful and adaptable layout. Okay, so just take a second here to read what I'm asking you to do. I'll zoom in, make it a little bit bigger, easier on the eyes. But the first should be a 2-page spread that has a left-hand chapter or article heading. And what that looks like is going to be left up to you because it's designed, there's no right or wrong way to do things. But think about what you would see or would expect to see at the beginning of a chapter or an article heading in a magazine. Make sure you leave room for some sort of inset quote, and remember to add page numbers and header information. The second master page should be a strict 2-page spread for displaying text with some images. I would recommend that you build off of whatever you do up here for this first one. That way you still have things like the header and the page numbers. And then finally, we're going to create a 2-page spread that can act as a flyer for ads. Maybe this comes at the end of your magazine, or maybe it's something that you distribute, but we would be bringing in some other images to act as ads and perhaps having some text as well. So you've got 3 that I want you to make. You can pause the video and come back to them at any time. But I will wait for a couple seconds and then I'm going to start making them on my own and show you my process for putting these together. Just as a note, all of the steps required to do this were covered in the first 3 or 4 videos of the channel of the series. So if you do get lost, you're not sure how to do something, go consider either reading on Google, reading on the Affinity documentation, or go back to my other videos and check out how I did them there and see if you can apply it before you come back to see the actual solution. All right, with that said, I'm going to shut up. I'm going to let you get to work. And when you're ready, come back and check your work against mine. Okay, here we go. So I know I'm going to be working in the master pages. I'm going to work off of I'm going to start from a completely new one so that you see the entire process. We're going to call this Project Challenge Master 1. And it's white. I don't like the white, so that's not going to work. I am going to just draw a shape with my wipers on. I prefer dark. Okay, so now we have a dark page layout. I also, since I'm working in masters, I need to make sure that I leave room for page numbers. So I'm going to select my text tool. I'm going to create a text field here. It's white. It's 25. How big is that? That's pretty big. I'm going to tone that way down. I'm going to go to text styles real quick. We'll go to heading 2. That's better. Okay. And I am also going to bottom align this. And then I'm going to go to text, insert, fields, page number. And I need to do the same thing on the other side. Control C, Control V, Shift drag, go to the right. Okay, now I need to do my headers. So my header, whoops, I'm on the shape text. Escape, escape, escape. There it is. Okay. I want to align whatever this is going to be in the middle of my page, and I'm just going to type, zoom in so I can see it a little bit better. We are bottom aligned. We're going to type, I know what the issue is. I was looking for the cursor. Header left, and Control V, Control C, Control V. Header right. All right, now you might have your own project you're working on. I bet that's going to be different unless your magazine is called Header Left, Header Right, which would be an interesting choice. So I'm thinking about how do I do a chapter. I'm thinking there's a lot of white space up front. I'm probably going to have some sort of big chunky text in the beginning. And I'm going to have, I know I'm going to have something like this, right? So let's see. I think these might be a little bit taller than I intended. So I'm going to shorten them a little bit. And I'm going to lower this a little bit. I think that looks better. We've got lots of healthy white space all around now. And I'm also going to connect that text box to that text box. That way, whatever it is that I text, insert filler text. Did I miss? Weird. Okay. Let's, first of all, justify top of line text, insert filler text. Okay. And obviously we don't want that to be bright white. That's a little goofy. And it doesn't need to be bold either. Okay, now I'm going to jump ahead slightly because I realize I don't think I showed you how to do columns, but there we go. There's the column button right there. There will be a video upcoming on columns at some point. Nope, that's too tight. 35 looks good. And we'll do column here, and we'll do 0.35 there. Okay, I think that looks pretty good. Now, that takes care of the first two chunks of this challenge. We have that. We need to get the article heading on there. We haven't left room for the inset quote. So let's go back to the master. And we'll do the chapter heading first. I'm stuck on a shape right now. Nope, I just want a regular old text box guy. Oh, you know what? It's because this is not locked. That's why. So we'll go to layers. There we go. What are you trying to type on? There it is. All right. And unfortunately, it remembers I wanted two columns at some point. And I haven't gone through text styles yet, so we're just going to bump this guy up to 50, and we'll do chapter title. And we'll make it bizarre fuchsia, or whatever that color is. Chapter title. And I think a bottom justify is going to make more sense. Like this. So we've basically left lots of space. Maybe give it like that. And drag this up. Give it some space. And we will do an underline right there. Alright. So now we have a chapter title. The last thing we need to do is our inset quote. And that's going to be drawing another text box somewhere. Get it like this. And we want to make sure it's not bottom lined anymore. Justify the text on the inside, and we want to square the text around it like this. We'll do an inset quote over here maybe between these. There we go. I think that looks pretty good. And then we'll do yellow text again, and we will just insert filler text. That's way too big for our purposes. We'll dial that down to 30. We'll dial that down to 20. Yeah, it looks pretty good. We'll do like that, just to make sure it really stands out. So there we go. Now we have a 2-page spread that has a lot of nonsense on it, but it also has columns. It's got the chapter titles. It's got an inset quote, right? Let's be very officious about this. I don't know where I put my other one, but okay. You get the point. Oh, there it is. It's down there. That's funny. Okay. So there's the first part of our challenge. Now we want to go to the next part of the master challenge, strict 2-page view with spread for displaying text with some images. So we will duplicate this one, and this will be much faster. We're just going to rename it. Spread properties, label 2. And if we double click on it to make sure we're active on it, we don't need this text field anymore because we are working with a 2-page spread. So I'm just going to turn my wipers on, and I'm going to give a little bit of airspace there and there. We can actually leave this thing, I think. I think that's fine. And we might want to consider maybe moving it. You know, maybe do one over here on this side this time. And we'll put in a picture frame the picture frame right here. And we will wrap the text tight. But we'll give it 0.25 inches around like this. And now we know, okay, there's going to be an image or something in here. Let's give it a little bit of a fill. We'll give it a we give it a fill like that. So now you can see where that image should go. So that's the second one done. And the third challenge that we had was to basically create an ad space. So we'll come back to our masters. We will duplicate. We'll duplicate off of the. Well, no. Let's duplicate off this one again. And come down. Spread properties. Label. Challenge 3. And double click on it to activate it. We're going to leave that picture frame. We're going to get rid of that. We're going to get rid of that. Get rid of that. And then we can just create. Oops. Control C, Control V. Like this. And we know, okay, it's going to be a little bit shorter. Control C, Control V. Oh, a little bit tight there, so I guess maybe these bottom two will be like this. Now we got a little bit of space. And we can come back in and we can add some text here. And we can insert filler text. Add some text here. We can insert filler text. We can do something here, and we can insert filler text. And I'm not really thinking a whole great deal about the best layout in this case. I'm just trying to practice using these tools to design something kind of nice. Nope, we don't want to do that. We want to fill it, and this time we'll fill it with that. And then we'll have a couple of like maybe small local icons for something down here. Whoops. Nope, I don't need to create another one. I just want to select you and you and you. And we will do here. Tried to hide it from me, but I know what I'm doing. Right there. Okay. And then we need one more text frame that goes here, but we want to wrap the text around it like that. There we go. Now we have an ad page, right? Something like this that could be at the end of a flyer and would allow you to advertise people's businesses or to advertise your own services, something like that. Very quick. We put that together very, very fast. And that's a master page. So now I can go back and I can add a page. Oops. And I can select out of my project challenge and I can start to replace images like that. Oops. Oh, didn't mean to go into my node tool there. And we'll put that in. Zoom it in. And we'll put, I don't know, I'm vamping a little bit here. Put that in, and we'll put that in, and we'll put that in. We'll zoom out so we can see the whole thing, right? Okay, so you can see how quickly you can start to fill things in with that picture tab. So there's a good series of projects. If you can do that, if you can start to use masters that way, you are really off to the races of what you can build with Affinity Publisher 2, but we are at 13 minutes, and I don't like to go beyond 10, and yet here we are. So I'm going to end this video. If you like this kind of head-first approach that is a practical, hands-on, quick dive into Affinity Publisher 2 and other software, and it's benefiting you as an adult learner, then consider subscribing to the channel or leaving a comment or a tip for another learner. And I am happy to have taught you today.